everyone, this is Lori from the Crafting Auntie coming back to you with a design team project for Polka Art Studio. Now I have created this journal using the Sherlock Holmes journal kit that Polka Art Studio has. And how I've constructed this, I'm doing this as a share. My husband and I have been down ill most of the month, so it was really hard for me to get in here and do some crafting. So I thought I would just create this and then give you a share. Let me know in the comments if you want to know how I did some of this on here and what did I use. I'd be happy to come back out and do a tutorial on how to make this cover. So first of all, let's take a look at it. So I have added one of the Tim Holtz watches here, and I had this faceplate in my stash that came from my sister. I believe she sent me some of these, and it fit perfectly inside here. So I had to glue it to the back of this in order for it to stay at the right, so that it's going the right way as a clock should be. So let me just kind of show you that. Down here, I took this from the kit, and I wanted to use a metal frame, but I couldn't find one the right size. So I had these. This is another Tim Holtz frame. And then I added some leather behind it with the Baker Street address for Sherlock Holmes. Now, I thought I really wanted this to be on the front. And also I have taken one of the papers from the kit, and I've done it twice. So I put it on here. And what I did for the base of this cover is I used two 9x12 envelopes. That's what I used. And then what I did is I took just some Amazon packaging, the thin kind, not the kind with the little foam pieces inside, and I took that and I made mamagami. So mamagami is taking your paper, scrunching it up, adding a whole bunch of lotion or however you want to do it to make it pliable. Then when I was done with that, I added a bunch of sprays, distress oxides, and tried to get this color that I have here. So let me just show you on the back. So I wanted it to look old. I wanted it to look like a leather cover, something that Sherlock was taking with him when he was going to work on a case. And he put his notes and stuff in here. That's kind of where my thought process was going. So I also used a metal post that I got from my sister. So that's how the closure is. And this is a piece of leather here. And then I just added a couple of eyelets, and then I added a magnifying glass that I did some alcohol ink on, a key, and I did some alcohol on one of these from Tim Holtz. It says "Stay Curious," because I figure Sherlock Holmes is pretty curious when he's out trying to solve a case. Just kind of show you those. I did stitching around all of this, but before I did that, of course, I added this paper, and then I cut out just all of these raggedy looking papers again, and I also printed it on a it's like a parchment paper, but it's to go through your printer. So it's not like a parchment paper like you would buy that has the waxy look on it. I'll link it below what I got from Amazon. And that's what I printed most of the papers on. Now for the spine. The spine is done with a piece of leather back here, and I turned it over because I wanted it to look old. And then I had these other pieces of leather that I cut in strips, and then I added it with eyelets on both sides of this. Now, none of this is glued down to the top of the other leather. It is just held in by the brads. And you definitely want to do that before you do your inside. And in this case, I did a hidden spine in here. So before I did all of that, I wanted to make sure I have this all done. Now you can see here how the paper is torn and it kind of goes underneath. Here is a piece of film strip. I believe it's a Tim Holtz, but I'm not sure. It could have been something else that I gotten. and a piece down here. And then after this was all done here on the spine, that's when I went ahead and did my stitching. Now you could do it beforehand, but you know, I was struggling because I don't think my machine would go over all of this down here because this is a thicker leather. And so I just went all the way around here. So let me just turn this back over. So that's the spine. And let's take a look inside. So inside I have used the Sherlock Holmes, and I had a couple of things, and I don't recall where they came from, but I had a couple things in my stash that I thought would go with this. So I went ahead and used them. So I used the pocket here, and this was one of the items that was in my stash. It was just an envelope for evidence, and I thought it went perfect in here. You could also add some writing to it. You could add some things inside. Now all of these pages, now you'll be able to see it a little bit more. This is the parchment paper I'm using. And so I also had some other things that were kind of Sherlock Holmes, and they were also on some of this parchment paper or some cards that I already had, and I thought they went well with the kit, so I went ahead and added a few of those on. I did a lot of stenciling on the plain black back pages. So, and then I used a lot of ground espresso for doing a lot of the distress ink. So here's one of the pages. Again, more stenciling here. This is from my stash, some papers, coffee dyed papers and color dyed papers I get from Etsy. Here's one of the cards and pocket here. And then this pocket comes over on this side, so I added these tickets, and I just inked everything up. Here's another one of the pages. It's an amazing kit. If you get the chance to give it a try. More stenciling here. I used about 4 different stencils and tried to give it some masculine look. Some cards from the kit. And these pages, a lot of these pages had some stitching on it, so it's all done for you, which is nice. You can also add your own stitching. Get some stenciling there. I left this alone. This is some coffee dyed paper I get from my sister, Nana's Crafting Cottage. She has some baking pans that put these lines in it, and I think they're so cool. Another one from the kit. Now, if I had done this on white paper, it would have looked a whole lot different. So I really like the fact that I did use this parchment paper because it gave it such an older look. This is a piece of some ledger paper that I had in my stash. Here's another one of the pages. Beautiful pages. Did an amazing job on these pages, Andrea did. Another one from my stash and more stenciling here. And this already had the stitching. If you're a journaler, there's lots of places to journal. And then I put this little folder together, and you could add some tags in there if you wanted to. And I used this pocket for the corner and did some stenciling as well. Another one of the pages is blank, so you could write on it. Another one for my stash and more stenciling here. This is the other piece of the ledger paper. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? The detail is just awesome. Here's one of the envelopes, and then I just used one of these paper clips that I had in my stash I thought went well with this. So I just clipped it on here. And inside I had some vintage pieces that I just pulled together. Some I had, some are from the kit. I will link the kit below from Polka Art. And again, I don't know where some of these others came from, but you can use whatever you have in your stash to add to it, or just from the kit, depending on how big you want to make it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Another one of the coffee dyed papers, more stenciling, and more stenciling here. Another amazing picture. All the detail of all the things going on. It's amazing. And here, this is from my stash. The blues went so well with this kit, with all the blue edges here. I had to use some of this. More stenciling. Another picture, more stenciling here, and look at these. So this is the first signature. They're gorgeous. I did do a hidden spine on this. So this background paper is also from the kit, and that's what I put on the spine, and that's what I put on the inside of the journal cover. So let's go through the second signature. So we have a pocket here, another card. I love this with the footprints and the books. More stenciling. Another coffee dye paper. Look at this one. It's gorgeous. Look at this old typewriter. It's amazing. Andrea did an amazing job. And here is another envelope, or it's actually a little flip out. You could tuck some things in there. I didn't add anything else into here, but you certainly could. I just clipped that with another one of those paper clips. I don't know where I got those. Possibly Michael's, but I've had them in my stash for so long, I really don't recall. I love this here with the magnifying glass and the pipe. More stenciling here, another piece of ledger. This is real vintage ledger paper. And then we have this page here. Lady Featherstone's study was securely locked from the inside. The thief must have had a key or access to duplicate key to enter the locked room without leaving any visible marks. And we have evidence. And then over here, I added another magnifying glass charm. And then this is a file folder and another piece of ephemera that I've just clipped on here. And on the inside of the file folder, I just used some tea dye paper that I had in my stash. And here's another one of the color coffee dye papers. Another page here, more stenciling here and here, another pocket, and then I just tucked this little file folder in here. And I did do some stitching on some of these things. I did some stitching on some of the pockets, and I didn't do any on the pages, so some of the ephemera I did do. More stenciling here. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. Looks so old and vintagey. Got the hourglass. And then here we have another piece of ledger paper. We have more stenciling. Gorgeous. Another one of these blue coffee dyed papers, and more stenciling here. Another awesome picture here. And then this is the coffee dye paper. And then I had just some extra pieces and something page from the kit. So I just scrunched it up and inked it up and made it look old and just clipped it on here with a bulldog clip. So I thought that would add some additional textures. Another pocket with a couple of pieces of ephemera. Ticket. And then we have over here the old camera and the pipe. And I also did stenciling here. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? Oh, I'm sorry. There's three signatures in here. I think I may have said 2 signatures earlier, but there's 3. I love that. And then here's the third signature. Oops. More stenciling. All the backs of all the pages from the kit, I have done some stenciling on. Coffee dye paper. And here we have another page. And then I added a couple of smaller pockets and added some pieces of ephemera in here. Also did some stenciling. Another one of these blue coffee dyed papers. Look at these old handcuffs. They definitely don't look like the ones today. More stenciling here. Another beautiful page and more stenciling. Another one of the coffee dye. Again, lots of stitching on these pages. Makes them gorgeous. Another piece of ledger. I just thought the ledger would go so well with this. Then we have this page. More stenciling here, and then I just added this pocket and this tag. Or journal card. The other half of the ledger paper, and then here we have one of the envelopes. I didn't add anything inside, but you surely can. And then I also use this little strip with all the case IDs on it. More stenciling here. Here's another one of the footprints. And another one of these coffee dye colored papers. More stenciling. Here's his jacket, his pen, his briefcase. More stenciling here. Look at this. I was thinking of maybe taking some of this and making some fingerprint things to put in there, but I got so wrapped up in getting things finalized that I actually forgot to do that. But you could take this and put it in like a specimen card and, you know, clip it on here somewhere here in the journal and be like some fingerprints that you probably were looking at through your magnifying glass. Stenciling here. Another beautiful page. Another one of my coffee dye papers from my sister. More stenciling here. Another pocket with another card. And then here's the back. I believe that's his house. And then here's a pocket, and I had another one of these, so I thought I would tuck it in there. So that is the Sherlock Holmes journal, and made out of 2 9x12 envelopes. And the post, just push that down over the leather over the post and it holds it. And then we have our charms and we have his pocket watch. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy this. Let me know in the comments if you do want to know how to build this part, or how to do the whole cover. I would be happy to do something like that if you are interested in it. Okay, well, you guys have a great day. We'll see you with the next video. God bless you all, and happy crafting. Bye.